I want to share with you a big secret today, and it's not one that a lot of you are gonna want to hear. But at the same time, it's so important that I have to tell you. That secret is this. What if I told you that every single day kids go to school, they become less intelligent? Now, how could that be possible? When kids go to school, they learn things right, and they accumulate more knowledge. So if anything, they should be getting smarter. How could they possibly be getting less intelligent? What am I talking about? Well, I do have to illustrate that to you today. Before I turned 14, I was a kid that didn't know what he wanted in life. So usually, when you go up to a 5 or 6-year-old and you ask him, what do you want to be when you grow up? He will say an astronaut or a businessman. I wanted to be a professional Call of Duty player. And since I had no idea about what I wanted to be when I grew up, I just listened to my parents almost 100% of the time. I trusted that they knew what was best for me. My parents wanted out of me what any typical parent would want out of his child. Go to school, keep up your grades, get down, exercise once every few years. And I was trying to do everything they asked of me, except the problem was I wasn't even that good at school. I was terrible at science. Couldn't write a 5-paragraph essay if my life had depended on it. And to this day, I still think I'm the only Asian kid in the world who doesn't understand math. I really do. But when I turned 14, the all changed. I was no longer this hot air balloon and floating around in space. I was now like a supersonic jet flying toward my destination at 50,000 miles an hour, or however fast those things go. This change all started when I received an envelope with a mail. It was an invitation, not to a birthday party. I didn't get any of those, not to a playground, but to a business plan competition down in Boston. And I was curious. I was just so curious that I had to go. The program director explained to us that over 5 months, we would form a team, develop a business idea, and present this idea to a panel of judges who will be judging us, how good our shows are, and how good our business ideas were. And a long story short, over those 5 months, I formed a team, developed an idea, and we actually ended up winning that competition and taking home a check. And that one event sparked my interest for going to more and more of these competitions. Over the next 2 years of my life, I actually went to dozens and dozens of these competitions. And I was winning almost all of them. And I realized that I liked going to them so much, not just because I liked to win them, but also because I had an unrealized passion. That's what passion for creating things. Because the one thing that my team would do differently from our other competitors every single time was, well, everyone would go up and present the idea and their PowerPoint. We would go to Home Depot, buy supplies, and actually build the idea we were talking about. And the judges were just so blown away by the fact that a bunch of teenagers could go and create things, can make prototypes and minimum viable products. And we won almost every single competition just because the judges loved that we had gone and executed it. At one of those competitions, I met a short-tempered, middle-aged, polished guy named Frank. And if you're here today, I had better run after this. He came up to us and took a look at our prototype and said, I can help you guys turn this into a real company. Think about that. Isn't that cool? We are 16 years old. We are going out into the world and creating a real hardware technology startup. At first, we were on like, time to be Steve Jobs. Let's go build Apple, dropping out of school now. But we quickly realized it's not that easy, so don't drop out unless you are really sure you have a good idea. But we've realized that the first part to building a great company is to assemble a great team. And as students, we couldn't go to bars to networking events for adults. So we went to after school and set up this little presentation in our auditorium in which we would present our idea and hopefully kids wouldn't turn out him. We sent out an invitation to our entire school, and the first thing we noticed is that almost no one showed up. There was almost no interest, and those who did show up spread the rumor around the school, and throughout that week, we were actually mocked. We were made fun of for our ideas and for being wonderful Mark Zuckerbergs. And what's funny is, the next week after, we took the exact same presentation, and we did it at our elementary school, and so to kids who were 5 or 6 years younger, and the response was phenomenal. These kids were throwing their lunch money at us, asking if they could buy a prototype. They were asking for a pre-money valuation, which I know you guys know from watching Shark Tank, but it was amazing that this kid even knew terms like that existed when they were too young to even properly pronounce out these words. That just inspired me so much, and I think this is what our education system has done. Over just these 5 to 6 years in the education system, these creative children have turned into these teenagers that are unwilling to think outside of the box. So let's go back to that secret I was talking about. How is it possible that school is making kids less intelligent? The fact is, there is so much more than just one type of intelligence. While school can make you more academically intelligent, it can teach you physics, algebra, calculus. It is diminishing the children's creative intelligence. It's teaching them to think in a certain way, to go down a certain path in life. It's telling them, go to high school, get a diploma, go to a good college, find a stable job. And if you don't do that, you won't be successful. And if that was true, how am I even standing here today? How did I, a straight A student, start a technology company at the age of 16? And how is my company, which was featured on the Wall Street Journal last week, doing better as some of the companies started by Harvard and Stanford graduates? It must be something that can't be measured by academic intelligence alone. So here is what I believe. Parents, teachers, educators, you have the power to influence and inspire youth. The fact is, there are way too many people out there right now who are obsessed with telling kids to go to college, to find a good job, and to be successful. There are not enough who are telling kids to explore more possibilities, to become entrepreneurs. And if there is one message that I want parents, kids, and all of you to take away from I have said today, is that you can open your own doors, that you can stray away from this conventional, limited, and narrow path that education sets upon. You can diverge and create your own future. You can start your own companies and start your own nonprofits. You can create, you can innovate. And if there's one message that I want you to take away from everything I have said, is it this. No one has ever changed the world by doing what the world has told them to do. Thank you.